What I love about here is you can literally see wildlife anywhere. The minute you step foot through the gate, you'll see things. Danes Moss is in Macclesfield, Cheshire. This area where we are now, which is 136 acres, is what we would call Danes Moss North, and this is the area that has been designated for housing development and retail and a link road and things like that. So Danes Moss is what you would call a relic lowland-raised peat bog. So relic because it's no longer actively growing as a peat bog. It's quite dry now, so there's no new sphagnum growth, there's no new peat accumulation. And lowland-raised bogs are a really rare habitat type in our country. We've lost over 94% in the last 100 years. So the fact that we have the largest and highest lowland-raised peat bog in the whole of Cheshire in Macclesfield is a real asset for the town. It used to be over 1,000 acres, so it formed about 8,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age, so it's been here for thousands and thousands of years. And as well as that, where we are now is a really special type of habitat called wet woodland, which has also declined over 90% in the last few decades. It's really, really important habitat type, but it's very hard to find across the country these days. You can only really find it in Cheshire and some places in Scotland, maybe a few places in Norfolk as well. So it's really amazing that we have this in Danes Moss.
Save Danes Moss formed about 3 years or so ago, and we're a group of about 10 of us, and we've been campaigning to get the publicity out there to people to understand what this site is, why it's important, and why we need to save it.
I would say it's been a very successful campaign. We have a lot of the town behind us and a lot of the surrounding towns in Cheshire East as well. We have so many different methods that we use to campaign, which I think is why it's been so successful. We have people that are so knowledgeable in the group about the planning aspect of things, which is amazing because it's so difficult to get your head around if you don't understand it. We have people that come out and document the wildlife pretty much every single week for the last 3 years, which is why we've been able to show how important the site is, ecologically speaking. Me personally, I do guided walks on site, so I take all of the local primary schools for field trips on site, or going in and talking to the class about Danes Moss, why it's important to keep it the way it is and why we shouldn't develop it. So the Moss Rose estate has obviously expanded a lot over the years because there's a lot of very new, very recent housing developments just on the edge of Danes Moss. And like I said, it used to be over 1,000 acres and it's now less than half of that. So we really are dealing with the last fragment of this ancient peatland that's been here since the last ice age, well before the town was ever here. And it's so important to protect this small piece that we have left, because the closer urbanisation gets, obviously the smaller this little pocket of peatland gets, but also becomes more isolated from other areas for wildlife.
It's just this constant creep of where they just carve a little bit off and another little bit, and over the decades it means things disappear. Once this is gone, it's gone forever, and that's the real problem.
So we really need to protect these areas to make sure that we have these safe havens for these rare species to thrive and to improve the connectivity as well. I think a lot of urbanisation, particularly in towns, has isolated these small pockets for wildlife, and it would be really amazing if we could create these corridors and link them up a lot more.